Hey guys, so for your project that deals with the reflective objects, okay? So you've practiced an eye, you've practiced a water droplet, and you have practiced a cup, okay? Or at least you should have. So now we're going to put all those together, and I want you to use your imagination and your creativity, and I want you to think about how all of those objects can go together into one artwork, okay? So you have the eye, which you did, oh, and we also have the ribbons. So we have the eye, we have the ribbons, okay? We have the cup, and we have the water drop. Okay, so you've got 4 things here that you can come up with some ideas. So in the very first week, we talked about a creative idea piggy bank, okay? And so, and there was a video on there that the artist that we watched called, by the artist named Kesh, he talked about how it's hard to come up with ideas when you don't have anything to say. So I want you to be creative, and I want you to think about all of these things and how you can put them all together in one artwork, and it be really interesting to look at, and have people come up with some ideas about what the artwork is about. Okay, we've been talking about artwork as well, so you know that different people have different ideas about things. Okay, so in your artwork that you're going to create, okay, for this major artwork that you're going to be working about 5 days on, okay, this is called a thumbnail. Okay, a thumbnail is like a rough draft. It's a rough draft for an artwork, and it's just for you to get down your ideas and what's in your head, and get it onto the piece of paper. Okay, so I'm not going to use the marker for this because it's going to be kind of hard. So what you're going to do with the thumbnail is you're just going to draw a square. Okay, it doesn't have to be very big, just big enough to where you can kind of get your ideas down. So you've got eyes, you've got ribbons, you've got cups, and you've got water drops. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything realistic. You can just kind of work with the objects and make them kind of float around on the paper. That's fine. So let's see here. Maybe I want to start, I'm going to start with the cup. Now the cup can be whichever you want. I want you to make sure though that you have references. So references are images that you're looking at to draw things the way you want them to look. Okay, I don't want you just to think of this stuff up in your head. I want you to really have some references to look at. Okay, so let's say maybe I want to do a cup, like a coffee cup. Okay, so I'm gonna have this coffee cup, but you know what? I want it to be tipping, so maybe it's pouring something out. So I'm going to draw. Let's see here. I'm going to draw this cup kind of going off the edge of the paper. Okay, because I want it to be, I want something to be coming out of it. Okay, so let's say maybe my water is turning into ribbons. Okay, so I've got this water that's coming out of this cup, and it's kind of flowing down. Oops, my pencil. Oh, well. All right. I'm going to turn to purple. Okay, so my water is kind of flowing down out of this cup. Okay, and maybe it's dripping. It's got like drips. The drips are going off the edge of the paper. And maybe this cup has a ribbon attached to it. So I've got all these ribbons that are flowing down off of this cup. Let's see here. In my 7th period, they know that I'm super frustrated with the ribbons. So, I'm going to draw these ribbons, and they're going to be coming down off of this cup, and they're flowing, and maybe I've got some, maybe I have this big eye that's kind of in the background. Okay. And this big eye is just like in the background. It's like, oh, it's looking at that cup, and it's flowing these tears out of here. And oh, maybe the tears that are coming out of the eye are kind of mixing in with the water that's flowing out of the cup. Okay? So I want you to think about your own, though. Okay? I want you to think about your own design. This one is mine. This is the one that I came up with. I know it's not very good, but it's a thumbnail. So it's kind of this idea that I have, okay? And I want you to come up with an artwork that has at least 3 of these things in it, okay? It doesn't have to have all of them, but I want it to have at least 3 of these things. And you can have multiple of these things. It doesn't have to just be one of each thing, all right? And I want you to be creative. I want you to kind of come up with a story for it. And make sure that you've got some layering in there. So, like, see how the eye is behind the cup? The ribbon is around the cup. The water's dripping out. Maybe I want to have water drops just like in the background, okay, behind everything. I just want to see some interesting designs, okay? All right. And it's going to be done in black and white, but you can have some color in there as emphasis, like to show focus, okay? All right.